Hi, everybody. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of my chronic migraine life. Um, and continuing with my conversation with you guys from last week, I thought that I would share another really positive life event that happened. So, if you saw my 2020 video, I am in this newfound headspace, as it were. I am celebrating the end of the decade of the height of my chronic migraine illness and really trying to feel powerful in my body and in my spirit and really trying to make positive changes and going forward just living my very best life and whatever that means day to day and staying positive and focused and making my dreams come true. So there's been a lot of attachment and sentiment and getting over that hump of changing from 2019 to 2020. Something about that decade being closed in my mind has really set me free. If you saw Season 1, Episode 7, The Migraine That Wouldn't Break, that's what we're going to sort of parallel today. My birthday is in December. I just turned 38. And I had a real quick weekend getaway with my cousins and my mom and my god sister to Philadelphia. Now, I love Philadelphia. It's a place I've been millions of times. It's about an hour and change from Brooklyn, New York, where I live. And so it's a place I can go to fairly often. It also is a place where there is amazing food and such rich historical value. All of my favorite things, essentially. So the holidays are a crazy time of year. They're no different in my house, and especially with the birthday, it's nonstop in a positive way. But so we made this overnight trip to Philadelphia, and I was super excited. I wanted to see the Ruth Bader Ginsburg exhibit at the National Jewish Heritage Museum there, and it was phenomenal. And I wanted to just show my 12-year-old god sister around Philadelphia. She had never been, and so that's super exciting to me also to get to share a love of history and learning with the younger generation. So I knew we were going to have a fantastic time, and we did. So we spent that first day at the museum and doing the usual. Liberty Bell, we went past Benjamin Franklin's house and the first post office. We had a gigantic ice creams at the Franklin Fountain. All very fun things to do. If you're looking for more tips on what to do and have fun in Philadelphia, you can check out my blog. We had a great day. We went to the Christmas Village, all fun things. Now, the next day, we were really only planning to walk around our area, and the hotel area, I should say, and have brunch and then sort of skedaddle. I wanted to do something fun for my god sister so that she would have, when I'm away, I want everyone to have the best time. I'm always trying to plan and think ahead, and, I want to show people parts of a city that I love so much. And so we were staying in Rittenhouse Square at the Kipton Palmer Hotels. Palomar, I should say, excuse me. And I know that area well. I had stayed there and also at the Sofitel across the street a number of years ago with different people and had an excellent time. So around that area is a place called Max Brenner's restaurant. Now, if you want to, after this video, refer back to the original story in Season 1, Episode 7, this part of the story that I'm going to talk about picks up about at the 10-minute mark. So, just for your knowledge. So, we went to Max Brenner's restaurant. Now, Max Brenner is a place I had gone to 9 years ago when I stayed at this hotel. Actually, it's when I stayed across the street. And in a mind-boggling world, it was the night that my first migraine that could never break began. So I was aware of all of this, obviously, when I planned the trip and as we were walking to the restaurant, it's only a few blocks from the hotel. But I didn't really give it too much thought. So Max Brenner is known as the Chocolate Man. It's sort of like a Willy Wonka-ish thing. I mean, they have normal food there, brunch, eggs, things like that. But they also have really fun hot chocolates and ice creams, of course, and crepes and all these fun things. So we walked to the restaurant. We had a great time. And As we're sitting, we're seated, excuse me, we're one of the first people to be seated for brunch that Saturday. And the restaurant's kind of empty, and I'm walking around taking pictures, and we're seated. And we're seated, let's say I'm sitting here now with my family. Directly across is the table that I sat at the first time I was here. And we eat, and towards the end of the meal, I point this out to my cousin that might not have been aware of the crime scene, as it were. The last time I was there, I was in agony that was building and building and building and building. And I was trying to fake it till I make it. I didn't eat a thing, but I certainly ordered. Everyone around me was having a really good time because they weren't also aware of how sick I was. I was in so much pain and had done the things I knew at that time to do to break my migraine, and they weren't working. And I was terrified, in shock, and the pain was so severe, it was sort of like a fog. I could hear the conversation. I probably took part in it, but I wasn't really there. I wasn't really in my body. It was all sort of at a distance. There was a separation. And I just remember thinking, trying not to think about the pain, and then thinking, I can't believe how bad this is. What am I going to do? I'm here for another day and a half. Never occurred to me to leave. I guess it also didn't occur to me that it would keep getting worse. And it was the beginning of something that I didn't even know could happen or would happen. But it was a great big foreshadowing. Fast forward 2 days, and I am taking the Amtrak home to New York City, and I was positive I would die on the train. I was trying not to let that show with that different cousin that I had traveled with. But she knew it was serious because I had to convey that it was serious because I was hanging on by a thread. And if you saw that video, you know that by the time I got home and was able to run up to my bathroom and lock the door, I sobbed. I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. This is actually the first time in a long time that I've thought about that and not sobbed in real life at the time. I guess because part of that is sort of healing. That pain is healing. But it's still not a fun time to think about. But it's real and it happened. And all of the things that came afterwards happened also. All the really serious things, all the really terrible days and nights, and the things that I missed, and the things that I participated in but still missed out on because I wasn't really there. I was only in my pain. And all of those other lessons, really, that got me to this place. That's why I think I'm able to talk about it in a positive way. And that's why I think I was able to return to the scene of the crime. So, as our meal winds down, I don't want to talk too much to my family in front of my god sister. I don't know what she really knows about my migraines. Think about a decade. That's, as a 12-year-old, that's pretty much a whole life. And so I don't want to harp on the pain and, take away from our meal, but I start talking about it. That's it. That's where I was sitting, over there. And the cousin that I'm directing this conversation to says to me, well, don't talk about it. Don't think about it. We don't have to go there. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to go there. I kind of want to talk about it. Like, I'm on the literal other side. Now, what's ironic about the seating is that, yes, I could see directly straight across where I was sitting, but there was like a little mini barricade wall or whatever. It was decorative. That's there. And I'm literally on the other side of the table and on the other side of my migraine journey. And it blew my mind. And something about walking in those steps and that space and having this amazing time, and I'm feeling good, right? That's the big part. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I have a bum foot that's healing and whatevs, but I'm feeling good. And of all the times I've gone on vacation and felt some kind of way of some kind of sickness, excuse me, it wasn't my head that I had to worry about. It was never even really a thought. I was exhausted. I was run down. All the things that I do to myself on a typical Donna vacation, sightseeing vacation. And my head was a champ, and I just knew it would be a champ. It wasn't even a thought. Sure, I had my bag packed properly. I had all my medications. I had a snack. I had water. I had all the things I knew I would maybe need so I could take care of myself and not aggravate. It's one thing to be in a good place in your health journey, but you don't want to provoke that bear. I never do, certainly. And I'm always prepared in case it goes left, because you need to be. It gives me peace. It gives me strength and confidence in my health, because I know that I can take care of it if something happens. But it didn't happen. And it wasn't even a thought. I think that's the thing. That's really the takeaway that I'm learning more and more, that I don't even have to, I always have that stuff in my bag, but I don't have to rely on it. And I don't even think I'm going to rely on it. I am, as of today, a week due from Botox. And now what that normally means for me is that the pressure in the air, I start to feel a lot of things. I have been feeling it, especially in the mornings these last few days. The weather in New York City is sort of ridiculous. It's been 70 degrees, it's been 40 degrees. I have this apparently permanent sniffle, runny nose. My head is not fantastic. It's not comfortable. But considering I'm not on preventative medication for it, it's fucking damn near amazing. And so while I'm eager for the Botox and I know I'll feel that much better, here I am, functioning, talking to you folks. I'm going to write. I'm going to go to the gym. I wasn't planning on cooking today, but I could. It's an incredible thing. Since I went back to that restaurant and sort of, maybe it was closure. Closure I don't always think is a real thing. But for me, I think it was. I think had I gone to Philadelphia and stayed in that area and not gone back to the scene of the crime, not gone back to that place, very, very beginning, the first place in my mind where I can mark, you know what I mean? Like, I remember that part. So I remember where I was and what I was doing. And, sometimes when things happen to us, bad things, sad things, traumatic things, we can't pinpoint the beginning. But I have that very clear pinpointed in my mind. And so to go back and have a fantastic experience, to eat, finally, the food was delicious. We had a great time, like I said. And take pictures and be with somebody I love and just end it on a high note. I don't know if I'll ever go to another Max Brenna again, and that's not really the point. But to go to that Max Brenna and that location and just be there. It seemed so much smaller to me this time, too, than it did last time. Everything just seemed very big. I know it was a Friday night when I went, so it was very crowded and chaotic. And so, when you're in pain, and especially from a head condition, I get overstimulated. I've learned that since. And because the pain is so great, it's just trying to narrow what you have to focus on and who you're looking for. And I used to get a lot of anxiety about that because it's too much. I can't focus. Like if the person I was with walked away and had a black jacket on, of course, there's 100,000 of the black jackets out there. Being able not to find them or to communicate, a neurological disorder does a lot of other things to you sensory-wise. And so I think that's the beginning of also, I didn't realize it then, and I didn't realize it for a long time, but that's also part of it. So, and Max Brenna, that's, a lot of those things were coming up. And I survived it, and that's what I felt. It felt surreal. It felt exciting. It felt, I don't even know that I have the words. I had no idea. We have no idea the journeys that we're going to take or that life is going to take us. And it's funny when you're lucky enough to get those bookmarks where you can, even if it's for a small period of time, even if it's for 9 years, even if it's for a decade, even if it's for 1 year, you don't know where your life is going to be a year from today. And I guess that's a good thing too. Like, now that I have these videos that I didn't know I was going to do a year ago this time, to look back and see where I am. Things might not be fantastic all the time, every day. Life is that way. It's ups and downs, and things might get harder going forward, but I know that I can do it. And so, I was there for a celebration, and what a celebration it really was. So I wanted to share that little tidbit with you, and, it was remarkable. It was remarkable, and I'm blessed, and I know that, and it was celebratory, and I was there for a celebratory weekend, celebrating my birthday, and so I can't think of a better way to have ended that trip. So I wish you all the very best in your day today, and take your strength and your love and your light with you, and you can get through anything. Until next time.